Is it working? I think it's working now. What's up, everyone? This is the morning show. It is October 21st, 2017. It's Halloween. Even though I am not gonna do anything for Halloween. Yeah, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here for Halloween. I don't even think I'm gonna answer the door. No candy comes out of this place. Anyway, happy morning, everyone. I hope everyone has had a good weekend. I did. I think I did. You know, whenever I say that and I talk about, oh, this is how my week was, this is how my weekend was, I'm actually not really like thinking about it. Usually it just kind of like it just kind of gets pushed out of my head. But you know, I'm pretty sure I had a good weekend. So like I said, hope everyone's had a good one. Let's go ahead and get started with the day. It is Tuesday. You know what that means? It's time to open up several boxes of disappointment to see what sorts of things are in store. Let's see, what's this artifact power thing at now? Ooh, it's a billion. Billions. So our artifact multiplier is now at 50. 169 million is our multiplier now, man. Times change, man. Times change. I gotta sell some of this crap. I was doing some old world stuff the other day. Mostly for footage. I was mostly getting like just footage and stuff like that. But let me just get rid of some of this garbage. And I think that's relics. Lame relics. Boo relics. And okay, that's cool. All right, so what's in the box this week? What I'm gonna disappoint myself with this time. Let's go the ring. I think it's gonna be a crappy ring. No. It's going to be legs. Something that like that I'll never replace because I'll more than often not I'm gonna be using my legendary or tier. What do we get? A chest. A 950 chest kind of sucks because I'd rather use my tier anyway. Crit mastery still makes it suck. Well, that's a bummer. Let's see, that's a 678 million. Didn't crit. 5.3 billion. Artifact power. Come on, baby, give me a crit. Oh, of course you're not going to give me a crit. That's that's kind of how it works. 940. Man, that sucks. Oh well. Yeah, it bumps my item level up by a little bit. Not a big deal though. I ain't gonna trip. It's all good. I am used to having that. Used to having like relative garbage in my box of disappointment. Hence, you know, box of disappointment. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's get myself situated. Get ready for my weekly thing. Oh, you know what? Wait, first things first. I was like goofing around with transmog because I finally got the headless horseman mount the other day. Oh my god, it was amazing. But let me just change to that really quick. Just something easy and familiar. This week I gotta do world quests, and thank god I need to do world quests. I'm only at 3k resources right now. I've been like blowing through my stuff, so I'm gonna be binging this morning. This morning it is like I can't even get like enough marks. Like I'll be able to get the 2 rounds. I won't even be able to get my 3rd round. Tisk. So bad. All right, let's see what we got. We got wardens, which is absolutely ignorable. Great. Let's see. Is there any? Let's see. Are these easy? That's easy. That's easy. Like I'll do those because they're relatively quick and they give like reasonable amounts of AP. I'll go for the blood over there. Not much going on, but you know, I'll go for the PvP arena thingamajigger anyway. I'll do that. I'll get that for the warden thingamajig. I'll get that one because I always do that. Let's see. Nazak the Fiend is this week's world boss. I'll kill those 3 because those 3 are a joke. Nameless King, nah, don't care. Stormheim I'm going to ignore for today. I don't give a damn about that. Let's see what's going on in Argus, and all that. Let's see. I mean, there's some rares and like, you know, there's some stuff that I can do for resources and all that. Nothing huge. That's crazy. Like 1450 resources and like, where's the world boss? Nazak the Fiend. This dude gives only 1k. What a ripoff, man. Some world boss you turned out to be. Sheesh. Oh no, I'm sorry, D. Boo. Well, you know, I feel terrible because I just sat down, so I didn't get a chance to wish you a happy morning, which is not a very happy. Doesn't sound like my wife is having a very good morning so far. So, wishing her the best. Anyway, there's BlizzCon coming up. Oh my god, What's up, Austin? And what's up everyone who's joining in? Feel free to hang out for the morning show. Ow! Just here to chat, have a good time, talk smack, and all that. You found a Death Knight exploit. Ah, do tell. Do tell. I did see that comment that you left, Madsen, about getting that. Grats, man. Grats. Oh, the BlizzCon hype is strong. I actually have a lightning round of there's a video that I'm prepping right now. Well, not right now, you feel me? But there's a video that I'm going to prep for today. It might be the last published video that I do before BlizzCon, just because, you know, I don't want to, you know, keep myself too occupied with just making videos and stuff. You know, I got to get ready. But I do, you know, I do have one last kind of a round of questions. So far, I'm at 19 questions, and I'm not even like a third of the way through the video. So I just go through, like, I just shotgun, or I'm just machine gunning through like a whole bunch of different questions that, you know, kind of the common predictions, and I'm just giving a straight up yes or no. So it's like, these are all my predictions for what's going to happen in the next expansion, all kind of crammed into like one big old lump. I don't know if anyone's going to care to listen to it. It's mostly for my reference. I want to see how wrong am I on all my predictions. You know, how off am I? Or, you know, I could brag and be like, see, I told you, motherfuckers. I told you that it was going to be like this and this and this. Ha! But that usually doesn't happen. Like, usually my ideas are like, yeah, they don't pan out like that at all. So knowing that, oh well. I'm just gonna, you know, I still had a lot of fun doing it. I just kind of sat down and, you know, just like literally just thought of whatever I could about the next expansion. And I know I missed some things, but yeah, I just went over like, oh, you know, these are all the typical things. Let's see if let's see if it actually happens this time around. All right, Austin's little exploit thing. I was in the battleground as an unholy decan. I got my you got your latency to spec to 2K. You then unplug your internet cord from the PC for 5 seconds, then plug it back in. You alt F4 and you relogged when you got back. Oh man, what a way to keep us in suspense, dude. We'll wait for the rest of your message. When I got back into the battleground, I was blood, but I still had my abomination as unholy. Interesting. That's interesting. Now remember, I mean, there's like, there's flubs or, you know, freak accidents, and then there's like an exploit, as in like you keep trying this and it works. And if it does, my recommendation, of course, is to not do it anymore. You know, put it in with Blizzard and, like, you know, be done with that. Especially because if they're like, oh, let's find out who's been exploiting this, and then somehow they find this stream, they're like, oh, that Austin Berkeley, we're gonna nail that mother to the wall, you know. So we don't want that. Ideally, man, don't take advantage of exploits. It's not the best idea. You know, you only get like a short-term gain out of it, and ultimately you're gonna lose out, and that would suck. I'd hate to. You know, I hate to see anyone get banned for, well, for something kind of silly like that. Alright, Gathralag, whatever your face is, you're gonna get jerked up. And then after you got out of the battleground, I was still able to use the abomination as well. I can mount up and use portals and duel people. That's pretty neat, I gotta say. Just don't do it, you know? So I did produce. So I did already like pretty much produce this video. I just need to like edit and finalize it. So I'm not. So no takebacks on my questions and answers and all that stuff. But I mean, what are some of the questions I was thinking of? I mean, do you guys think, like, let's say, do you guys think that there's going to be Legacy Realm announcements? Do you think that's going to happen? You know, do you think there's you know, one of my big things, and I'll talk about like maybe a couple things as a preview, but you know, I kind of expect there to be a full talent revamp. I think that they're going to take the talent system as we know it, and they're going to like wreck the damn thing. They're going to do some weird stuff to it that we might like, we might not like, whatever. But I think that is due for. I think that is due for a really big change. Yeah, I'm a Horde on Bleeding Hollow, sir. Alright. Let's get to killing this thing. And oh yeah, the blood. I want me some blood. Anyway. All right. I mean, these days I'm kind of on the fence with, you know, I'm kind of climbing the fence with Legacy Realms. I for one will never play them. I've no need to. There's nothing for me there. But I'm wondering, like, you know, just how long is it going to be until Blizzard's like, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. Why not? You know, it looks like this can make money now, but I don't expect there to be an announcement for Legacy Realms this time around, just because Blizzard did it, because Legion didn't suck. That's my main. I guess that's my main thing. If Legion like totally blew, and you know, and Blizzard was met with even worse results than with Warlords, then I think, you know, they would pull that card. They'd be like, hey, you know what, let's go ahead and try this out. We'll still keep going with trying to push out, you know, new expansions and new content and stuff. But you know what, let's give. Clearly, they would have to admit themselves, like, you know, we're missing the marks. So let's at least try to give in to what players have been obviously been saying and give this a go. You know, and you know, from there I think it'd be a worthwhile investment. Before that, nah, I don't think so. I don't really expect an announcement this time around. You can play the Legacy Burning Crusade server Warmate and make money. I don't care about that. No. Why would I want to do that? Crazy. Yeah, there's very little you can do to ever compel me to want to defy. Basically, like the way I see it, because I did. Now, if I never played them, I'd be curious about it. You know, I would admit that, but I'm not curious about it. I know the experience. You know, and to be honest, I don't want to defile. This, you know, I had a bad experience with Burning Crusade, but I'm not going to defile that memory with, you know, and try to replace it with something new. Ooh, let me try to recapture it. I think that's kind of a cheap way to do it, because it wouldn't feel genuine at all for me. It wouldn't feel, yeah, that wouldn't make me feel like any more. It wouldn't make me feel satisfied at all. Especially knowing what I know already. It's like, I already know everything that I need to do. It's just a matter of doing it. There's no sense of discovery or wonder or anything that's left for me, because again, I've played through it already. The curiosity would be there if I never played through it, but without that, there's no compelling reason for me to want to get on. Exactly, like yeah, I think of BC, and I think of the memories of my early guild, or you know, well, I was in a guild before I started, but before I was in Prisoners of Warcraft, it was a guild that I ran. It was called Horde House, and all it was me, one guy who I didn't really know very well, and like a bunch of Eastern European girls. I don't know. Or at least that's how they sounded. That's, you know, that's what they came off as, and all they did All we did was farm cloth. We farmed cloth so I can craft stuff, and like that was it. At one point, like the girls had like some sort of like dramatic fallout, and they all quit at the same time. Yeah, it was very weird. But anyway, and then I started. You know, that's when I started, you know, going around looking for other guilds. I found some other guild, and then the people that were there were like, "Hey, we're going to start a new guild." You know, so they did. That was Prisoners of Warcraft. They invited me in, and ta-da, you know, and then the rest is history. But you know, the journey through the Burning Crusade with for my team was, it was really rough. Like we had tons of like realm problems or server problems. You know, we're getting disconnected a lot. The realm itself was like really small, and people were just like totally fighting for raid spots. So what people would do, you know, what the bigger guilds would do, instead of looking around for people to build up and get attuned and all that stuff, they would just poach guilds like mine. They would try to find people, try to find whoever had the best talent and was kind of close to like getting started, and they'd be like, hey, you know, we'll go ahead and take you the rest of the way. And even though my guild was like super struggling to try and get through ourselves, so we would constantly have people coming and going, and that was rough. You know, that hella pissed me off, and yeah, and because of that, you know, it sucked. You know, we just couldn't do stuff. But I don't want to take that feeling away either. I don't want that to. Did I have enough things? I did. I don't want that to go away. I don't want to try to replace that feeling. I don't want to have that comparison of, oh yeah, you know, back when it was live, it sucked, but now that I did it on this private server, it's like fantastic. Or it might suck still. You know, like you never know. I might have a similar experience. I might not. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to, like you said, Austin, tarnish that, you know, tarnish the memory of that. I want to take, you know, Burning Crusade, my experience with the Burning Crusade. I'm gonna have one experience, and that's all it's gonna be. Uder the Palestine says, I want level 6 servers, I play vanilla. Hey, I said I play vanilla, look at me, goddammit, I said I play vanilla, ask me questions about the good old days. Huh? Good old days. That's funny. They were okay days. But yeah, they were okay days. Just okay. I do wonder though. If I recall correctly, there's like an NPC in Silithus that will allow you to kind of change the state of the world. You know, like for those people that are that need to like do stuff in like the older version of Silithus, like you can have that restored. And this is going to be after the events of the raid. You know, when everything does change. So. You know, I think at the very least, you know, Blizzard's like, okay, we'll at least do something where you can revisit like the old parts of, you know, the old parts of the world, so you can redo stuff. So at least from the sounds of it, there's not going to be another situation where we're forced to say goodbye to content. You know, we're forced to like abandon like the old world or something because there's been a revamp. It looks like they're going to preserve that. I wonder what their concern was back then. Is it just because it's hard to hold on to a system like that? Because, I mean, if you hold on to both the pre-Cataclysm Azeroth and like the post-Cataclysm Azeroth, I'm sure that's pretty daunting. I mean, you are almost literally doubling that world size because you're still preserving that world. I don't know. Maybe at the time, technically, it was too hard, and these days it's not, or maybe it still is. Just because that is a lot to maintain. It's like, yeah, you literally have another world to maintain for the sake of, in case anyone wants to go back and check things out. Oh, Thank goodness I have plenty of water. Man, I've been like super thirsty all day, man. All right, let's do some of this stuff because I think I just got the new honor level like the other day. Yeah, I did. So I might as well get started on working on some more. This will probably be like the thing that I do at the end of the expansion when I totally run out of stuff to do. Might as well grind pound out this honor stuff and yeah, try to get all the rewards at least on my main character. Thankfully, I don't care about my other ones. Otherwise, ooh, the whole, you know, all the frustrations of trying to prestige up with a whole bunch of you know, that's a question that I didn't ask myself about PvP. See that's where I really fall off. I didn't ask myself PvP related questions on this whole lightning round thing that I did, and I'm not gonna go back on it. Maybe I'll just leave it like for comments and stuff like that. But yeah, whoops. Oh well. I was just quoting you, Who Wants to Look at These Servers? I know they were just sort of the good memories people have about those days. Morning. What's up, Game On End? And what's up to everyone who's joining me today for the morning show? Feel free to hang out and lurk or be a part of the conversation. I love to hear from everybody. But if you don't care to talk, I guess that's okay. It's alright. You did an escort quest. I was about to terminate, and the escort took me 27 minutes from the start and to finish MP. RP walked the whole way, and I had to fight literally 70 miles along the way. Then right before, and you know, I had that too. I said it's quite war, right? Yeah, escort quest. You know, fuck escort quest, man. Like there's a kind of escort quest with, I forgot his name, but it's over in Argus, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, there's a quest where you're escorting like a broken guy, and then all of a sudden he becomes a void broken guy, and then you know you kill him, whatever. But you know, that wasn't really like an escort quest. You know, you're just kind of following this guy around. It's super scripted. There's no risk of him actually dying, and thank goodness those things work. I don't like going, you know, joking around with the whole cancer thing and all that, but it sucked that bad. Those things were terrible. You know, escorting the damn chickens, that was always like a big pain in the butt because I played on a PvP server, and oftentimes I had to like defend myself against the Alliance. I don't think Alliance were able to attack the chicken, but they were definitely able to attack me. And back then I was a warlock, mostly. And yeah, that blew. I did not have fun with that, man. Yeah, I'm thinking yeah, there's one where you escort a robot chicken in Tanaris, and you fight a whole bunch of mobs. Like there's a ton of them, and like there's, as far as I recall, there was no way to heal that damn chicken, and it sucked. It just sucked. You know, I guess the last time there was like a real, you know, like one of those real bona fide escort quests was Gammon in the Siege of Orgrimmar raid, when you got to take him around. But at least you have like 20-something other people that are trying to help out and prevent Gammon from getting in trouble. But back then, oh, those were the worst, man. Those damn escort quests. I'm glad that shit's gone. I'll probably do a video on that. Here are 5 things that I'm glad I've fucking gone in the world of Warcraft. Escort quest, definitely being that definitely goes on that list. There were 3 of those. Yes, there were 3 of those damn chicken escorts. And what do you get at the end? Not much. I think you had a pet that you can, like a combat companion sort of thing that you can summon. I mean, that was back before, you know, pets and all that stuff. And because it could die, that was a real bummer. A real bummer. Good enough. Let's just go. Let's just dive in and break shit. All right. How much of the floor can we clear? Okay, it's a Death Knight. And then there's that caster guy that's just kind of free casting. Oh, no, you don't. You ain't gonna run. Yeah, thank you, Demon Hunter. That dude was gonna run away like a punk bitch. And you better not. Yeah, you better not. I hate that door. That's so annoying. That's so anti-gameplay. Like, you'd figure that, like, you know, you should, you know, they shouldn't have, like, something like that where that works, like, in combat. Like, that's messed up. You want to leave the arena? You fucking leave in a body bag. Quiddy, what's up? But yeah, there's the robot chicken, the mechanical Yeti thing over in Winter Spring. I remember. I remember some of them, at least. But yeah, those early escort quests, man. Having to go through like that sort of trouble. Ugh. And for what? Not enough. Definitely not enough. Oh, man. Come on, mage. Hurry up so I can kill you. Alright, 60%. What the hell? That boomkin is just chilling. What the hell? Ow. That's cheap, boomkin. That's hella cheap. Ow, it hurts. It hurts. Everything hurts. Oh. Yeah, you better not leave, stupid chicken thing. Sheesh. I gotta find a way to kill that chicken. Marco, what's up? And what's up to Aiden? And what's up to Ken? Ooh, Ken, I need you to I sent you a tweet. You know, one of those direct message thingamajigs. I need your address because I have your shirt and I want to send it to you. So yes, you. Yeah, you are Ken. Check it. Check your Twitter. Respond with me to your address, and I'll get you your shirt. Anyway, Marco and Aiden and Ken and everybody else. Good morning. Hope everyone's having a good one. All right, where's that? Oh, fine. I'm gonna kill that chicken. First, let me change my talents real quick. I can at least do that. Yeah, I have Cavalier. I don't need that. I don't need that right now. I'll piss him off with Spell Warden. Yeah, go down there. Go down there so I can kill you. Yeah, I'll do that too, punk. Oh, it didn't work! I failed. Oh, no. Ah, screw you. Oh, man, you got so many cooldowns. Good thing my holy shield like jacked them up. Woo! Oh man, that druid, that that guardian druid like jacked. Well, everyone jacked me up there, but at least I did it. Alliance Hex, I don't know. I think it was Horde actually, but like someone was able to. Thank you, Ken. I saw someone death gripped him down, and that was the end of that. How's it going, Dave? It's what's up, Travis? Things are going good today. I have a video that I'm gonna be editing, and I'll put that out in the next couple of hours. I still got a bunch of packing to do. I had to replace my laptop, dude. I bought a laptop the other week. I'm sorry. To specifically so I can I needed a new work laptop because it was kind of running slow, and I wanted to make sure that I'd be able to like do things like streams and do some editing on it so I can get some stuff out during BlizzCon and like a live stream. it would be like a nightly sort of, you know, it would be something that I would do like, you know, one or both of the BlizzCon nights, and the hard drive was like jacked up. Like the hard drive was like running super high, like constantly. It was like going hella slow. And I thought I would try to put up with it for a little while because I was hoping, okay, maybe it's just, you know, Windows is trying to get used to it, trying to get its bearings straight. But then after a while, I was, you know, it's good. I'm just gonna restore the system, see what's going on. I restored it, same results, and I'm like, you know, it's the laptop. It's a bummer. So I ended up swapping it out for a more expensive one, you know, which is kind of a bummer. That took a really big bite out of the wallet. Because I went for a more expensive, because I like Asus as a brand. But that particular laptop just happened to be a lemon, and unfortunately, that just kind of left a sour taste. So I didn't bother getting the same thing. I ended up getting an upgrade, and I think I'm better for it. You know, at least I'm telling myself that, because that was the next couple $100. so I'm telling myself it's great. It's gonna be awesome, and I feel bad because like. My old laptop, it works well. It just doesn't have enough oomph in it for like the live streaming and stuff, which is a real bummer because it's a really good laptop. It's 5 years old and it still runs. You know, of course, most everything runs well, like fine, right? There isn't like a whole lot. There isn't a huge requirement to run the World of Warcraft, but it ran it well, and everything else, you know, ran just fine too. So. Yeah, and like in the long run, it's gonna serve me well. Like that laptop I actually you know, it wasn't like super top of the line, but you know, it was still expensive. And that lasted like at least 5 years, and it's still going. It's still doing just fine. So I'm still very, very happy with it. I just wish that, you know, it just ain't enough anymore. Austin Berkeley's been winning Battlegrounds all nights. Oh, are you like twinking it? Well, actually, wait, no, you can't twink it. Hello. Well, I'm glad you're doing well anyway, Austin. So, all right, let me double check Ken's address right quick. Yes. Yeah, so Ken over there, he's a guild mate. He was the one that was like, yeah, dude, I want a shirt. Let's see. Ba-bum, ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, bum. And there he is. All right, cool. Yay! You're 107 and 11. Ah, that's cool, man. What class? What's up, Dawn? I'm having a pretty good morning so far. Just taking this time to use the morning show as just kind of a relaxation thing. I mean, there's so much going on. BlizzCon's coming up, and I'm like, oh my god! Yes, there's still a bunch of stuff I need to get ready. I do plan on doing a stream tomorrow, but not Wednesday. I'm sorry, but not Thursday, of course. Thursday I'm going to be on the road. I mean, you might see an upload from me. You might see a random upload from me. It's going to be mostly me like trying out the lapel mic, and you know, seeing if I can pull off like a live recording, because my plan is Friday. Is that on Friday I'm gonna go over to like the big ass crowd, for the big ass BlizzCon crowd, and try to stream live. It'll be like my special morning show, or like, you know, this is a special episode of Warcraft Weekly, you know, live from BlizzCon, that sort of thing. And yeah, it's just gonna be me like hanging out with whoever the hell I can find and stuff. So that reminds me, I still need to reach out to like some YouTubers to see if I can get a few, you know, just a few seconds with them to hang out. And I forget where to go. I haven't seen the Zoctafine in like forever. So if I'm going the wrong way, well, whoops. Because I could have swore that it was like down here somewhere. I will find you. You are somewhere. Mention the explorer came. Oh, that's okay. So you were doing it on your DK. Okay, okay. Yes, Arturus, you are on time. Man, stop talking like my streams are like so inconsistent. Well, I'm glad you made it though, dude. Here's Nazak the Fiend, and it's dead. Oh, it's okay. I guess I'll just join a group for it. Let's go with the one with one person. That one actually seems like the safe one. Because, I mean, I don't really care. I just need to pull it. I mean, this thing ain't a danger to me, right? Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many personalities that are going to be showing up at BlizzCon. I don't know if, like, even if I am able to meet up with them, like, I don't know if, like, the time schedules are going to work out, because I only need, like, a couple seconds with them. And I just want to say hi anyway, and all that stuff, too. Make myself, you know, because it's one of the things that I try to pride myself on, right? I try to, you know, get more of the community together, at least like with the smaller YouTubers and stuff. But like with the bigger ones, I know that a lot of, you know, some of them talk to each other. Unfortunately, I don't, you know, really talk to them. So if I can like start establishing those kinds of relationships, then hey, that would be neat. That would be neat. Oh, thanks, Aiden. Yeah, that's something that's a format that I've been wanting to like that I've been sitting on for a long time, or you know, it's a video that I've been sitting on for a long time and have been meaning to do. Just you know, never, just didn't get around to it until like this time, where I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna do some like lighthearted stuff, for a little bit. You know, some easy stuff to produce right before BlizzCon. I really should do the you know, I could do another Tales of the Crossroads sort of thing, but for whatever reason those take me forever to do. I don't know why. All I'm doing is reading stuff and getting footage, you know, limited amount of footage to match it, but for some reason it takes me like a bajillion hours to like finish it. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I think it's easy and then I slack off, and then that's what makes it hella slow. I don't know, but oh well. I shouldn't, yeah, that I'm probably not going to do a Tales episode this week. I mean, it's probably just going to be like this, this lightning round of questions that I do. I mean, from the looks of it, I have like, I'm going to have like 30 something questions that I blow through. Because the video itself is like half an hour long, which is way longer than I thought it would be. But you know, typical me, I end up running my mouth a lot. But I just want to get my thoughts in with like these predictions and what I think is going to happen or not happen with the next WoW expansion. Come on, let me up, let me up. So listen, we don't care about the YouTubers right now. All we can do is right now that are going to go. All we care about is the juicy info on the new expansion. Oh no, I feel you, but this is mostly for me. This is so I can like establish those kinds of relationships, so I can you know be a better content creator, so I can keep doing what I'm doing. Otherwise I burn out and stop. I don't want to do that. That would suck. Gumad, what's up? Welcome to the show. And let's get the heck out of here and get some more artifact power. I'm starving. Starving. Right, let's take out this trio. I remember this Outrider trio. These guys like were like hard at one point for people who weren't tanks and stuff. But yeah, these, you know, those three provided like some challenge. I remember it took like a small, you know, people wanted to put together a group to like take these dudes out. I think that's them over there. Yep, they're getting jacked up. These days, not so much, which is kind of a bummer. I mean, I appreciate getting stronger and everything, but it really takes the teeth out of it when very little challenges you out in the open world. Alright, so Maldareth the Corruptor. I think there's a thing on top here, right? Person with the little green things on the side. Yeah, this person. And he's dead. Oh no, he's dead. You know what? I took his place. I am the thing now. See, see that warlock was trying to kill me. he's targeting me. I made him feel foolish for like just a half second. Grub pants. Come on. Maybe he's not spawning because I'm standing here. I'm standing in the spot. Come on. See, that person's targeting me too. Heck, I can't hit him. What's going on? What's up, Ken? Oh, your phone died. Oh, snap. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Anyway, Ken, what you been up to, man? Oh, it's certainly as admirable. All right. What's next on my list of conquest? I think I'm going to High Mountain. I think so. Yeah, a couple things to do in High Mountain, including the Warden Tower. All right, let me just. I'm close enough to a flight point. Yeah. If I can find it. All right. All right. So now, yeah, I'm gonna go to Stonehoof. Kayla asked, "I like Bleeding Hollow. My husband likes twinking, and there's several twink guilds on Bleeding Hollow. I'm not on top of the twinking game at all, Kayla, but I do like it. It's a medium pop server, which you can kind of think of as a high pop server. The cross realm thingamajig that kicks in every now and then, like you know, when it's definitely not peak time. But for the most part, we do see a lot of our own people out and about in the world. We're horde heavy, if that's important to you, and I play a blood elf. But overall, I like it. It's populous, but not too populous. And with regards to, like, you know, certain guilds and personalities and such, I don't really keep track. I don't really know the realm identity very well, because as far as I'm concerned, like, the game, a lot of the game doesn't exist outside of my guild. I'm like, so, I don't know if you want to call it xenophobic or whatever, but I'm so, like, just into my guild that I don't really bother with much of anything else. So all right, what's next? Phasing. Yeah, just swing by, check it out, see if it sucks. Well, okay, maybe you shouldn't judge a realm by its trade chat. That would, because then everything would suck. No one was having fun. Everyone's just talking smack and having having pseudo political debates. That's not fun. Yes, come to Butthead. Any of you folks at home or on the toilet in the car are you guys having, like, any predictions? Anything that's like, oh my god, I'm definitely, this is definitely gonna happen at BlizzCon this year, or like what are some of your folks' expansion predictions? Are we going to be on boats? Are we going to kill Jaina Proudmore or Sylvanas or whoever they are? Is half the planet going to get covered in water? Is there going to be another like super cataclysm sort of thing? Solving world problems in trade chat. Yeah, they'd love to think that. They'd love to think that their voices can be heard in World of Warcraft's trade chat of all places. Joke of the year. So you're thinking so you're thinking a garrison system. I mean, I wouldn't mind it either. Like, I think the Order Hall overall, I think it worked out. It's just a matter of what's the narrative going to be this time around. Like, if there's going to be another garrison system, what's the story going to be behind that? Is it going to be like a building? Is it going to be a big old boat? You know, it could be. Let's see. Rex T Frost Wolf. Oh, aw. All right. New faces, new guild garrison. I mean, like, I know I've said this a number of times already, but like, if they do like some sort of like guild hall or whatnot, I just want it to be like really like minimum. I want it to be borderline useless. Because if it's borderline useful, then that's going to be like a reason to like not do stuff out in the world and all that. And I'd rather, you know, I'm happy with having a faction hub where everyone can kind of hang out. You know, those kinds of things I think are important. I'm kind of thinking these days though, I'd rather have something more like Warspear and Storm Shield, rather as opposed to Dalaran, because it makes everything's kind of too powwowy, you know, too friendly between the factions and all that, and I don't really want that. Like, I don't mind having like opposing places, because, you know, one thing that would happen every now and then during Warlords is that the other faction would invade the other people's faction hub, and there are, you know, there's trouble with that. You know, there'd be reasons to get pissed off about something like that, because, you know, maybe your hub was getting attacked and you were getting camped and the place is useless, but it added a little bit of spice to it. It gave the world a little bit of excitement, knowing that your faction hub could be like invaded and otherwise just kind of razed to the ground. I didn't mind that so much. I know some people do. You know, people don't like to have their gameplay be disrupted by external forces. They just, you know, they enjoy the whole multiplayer aspect, but they don't. They enjoy the whole multiplayer aspect, but they don't want to be disturbed by it either. But I don't mind it at all. Laurent logos are leaving behind the scenes BlizzCon 2017 video. Yeah, I saw it, but it doesn't. I didn't see the video, but I'm wondering, like, to me, I think it's a big nothing. And I actually talked about this. I'm going to talk about this in that video that I'll have out today, but I'll just talk about it now. I don't think it means much, because that could mean anything. That could be something related to Hearthstone, for all we know. So it's hard, you know, it's hard to presume that this is going to be, you know, a big thing. Like, I think one of the theories is that, you know, Kalia Menethil will be making a return, and so I talked briefly, or I'll just talk about it now. Sorry. I mean, what are the political implications for that? And in my opinion, nothing. I mean, she doesn't have a family. She doesn't have, you know, she's been chilling there as, you know, in the Priest Order Hall as a champion, but she doesn't really do much. So, to me, like, you know, having her, you know, the possibility of having her be involved with the story, that's plausible, but I don't think it's all of a sudden going to be like this huge dramatic thing of, oh my god, she's going to retake Lordaeron with what? She doesn't have shit. She's got like a couple of guards, maybe a few like refugees and stuff, and like that's it. You know, I don't think Kalia Menethil has any power, any actual power at all, and she knows that. I think instead it's going to be like you know, a lot more subversive. There's going to be like things that happen in the background. It's going to be a slow burn, where I think eventually Kalia might end up marrying Anduin. You know, they might become like that sort of power. They might become that sort of power couple, and then that might cause tension between the factions. Because I can't imagine like the Forsaken all of a sudden being like, "Oh my God, the Queen's returned, yay!" Or you know, the princess is here, yay! Let's throw our loyalty at her. When you know, when this whole plague thing went down and the third war happened and all that, where was she? Nowhere, because she didn't really. Well, she didn't really do anything. So I don't think she has any credibility as to like who's gonna respect her or who's gonna follow her. Yeah. Boo-ho, what's up? Now for real, man, this hype, man. It's palpable. It's like sticky. Like yeah, whatever. Oh, it's real, man. Folks can't wait, and you know, and it's funny because it's reaching such a fever pitch that now, you know, now a prediction is there actually going to be an expansion announcement, or is it just going to be like a patch 7.3.5 and a patch 7.4? Man, that would be a big bummer. I would be people would be so upset. I would be really upset about it. I'd be like, that's it, that's all you got. Damn, there's gonna be like blood on the streets if that were the case. But no, I'm not counting on it. I'm like pretty much 110% sure that there's gonna be an expansion announcement. Yeah, yeah, the hype has reached that sort of level. No, I don't care about that one, but I will defeat. Oh, the Helljar Ritualist. No, that one sucks. I am not fond of that quest. Especially when there's not a lot of people there. That's a big pain in the butt. So I'm good. Let's see what's next on my list of conquest. I think I've done everything here. I've done everything on the planet. So I'm gonna head over to Broken Shore after I sell stuff, I guess. And yeah, I'll do some of these. These ain't so bad. Yeah, they won't take long. There'd be a riot instantaneously. Yeah, well, I'm thinking like I usually sit towards the back during opening ceremony. So I think if there was like a riot to like rush the stage, I'm gonna be back there. So I'm not gonna worry about it so much. I'm not, you know, yeah, I won't have to worry. Let me scroll up. Archer says, idea, other races' main towns like Silvermoon get destroyed by a giant meteor and only leaving one main city for each faction and Dalaran as neutral. That would be something. I'm not going to immediately dismiss it. I would be pretty pissed off because I'd be like, well, damn. Poor Silvermoon. That sucks. No one went there. Even worse, though, is Billswater Harbor. If anyone's ever heard of that place, that's the Goblin capital, and there's nothing to do there. You know, there's no point. There's no point going there. The only thing Billswater was used for was as a device to get you to the Twilight Highlands back in Cataclysm when that capital first appeared, and otherwise that was it. There was like no point. There's no point for that city to be up and running any longer. Other than that, it's like cool. I think it's a cool city, but it's like right next to Orgrimmar. So obviously, there's a well. Why the hell would I go here? I'm just gonna go to Orgrimmar where all the other cool people are, and yeah. I think I'm mostly opposed to having a main capital. You know, with all the portals and all the anemones and things like that. I think like if there is like I guess since Stormwind and Orgrimmar are like primary capitals, maybe they should have like a couple of more perks, but to have all the conveniences of portals and things like that in those cities, I think that was a step. I think that was a bad call. I think that was a bad call to make because it takes away the identity from the other cities. Like if you give all these cities like the same stuff. Inevitably, people are going to gravitate towards the one that is at least slightly better than the others. The problem is Ogremar is much, Ogremar and Stormwind are much better than the others, and that's a shame. That's a big shame. I guess I'm kind of butthurt too that Stormwind looks so much better than Ogremar. Oh, it makes me butthurt. I'm like, oh man, I want my city to look as cool and you know, and have like all sorts of like little bits of attention to detail that Stormwind has, because that's a really cool city. I talk about that. I talk about that at least like once a week. Man, it's a cool looking city. I wish we had that. You know. I would enjoy having. I'd love to. I would love to. Best part is that I don't even need these Frostwing thingamajiggers. I can do this stuff all by myself. I just want to be able to know that I did it. It was my deeps that caused this. That caused this madness. Ha 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 ha. Ah, that feels good. That's what I mean about, man, there's nothing threatening out in the world anymore, except for like world bosses. That's about it. World bosses and other players that try to, you know, mess with me. Nothing else, unfortunately. Alright, so it's just this. And then I can leave this stink town and go go up to Aguas. If they didn't announce new expansion, then what are we gonna do for a whole year? Just like in Warlords of Draenor. That would be, yeah, that would be a big thing. Let's see. I don't think it's possible. One would be their next opportunity to release an expansion. I mean, Blizzard can announce an expansion whenever they want. They've just been doing that opportune times to maximize the hype. But they could do it anytime. Ken would like more Blood Elf content. You know, it's funny because just the other day I was going through Tempest Keep, you know, wiping out the Blood Elf population there. And it has been a while. But I think we need a reason to kill Blood Elves. or unless you're talking about content that just involves the Blood Elves as opposed to just straight up killing them. But I think you're right there too. Oh wait, what am I doing? I got a key and I just left, which is like pretty much the same thing. But I at least want to free up an inventory slot. I can't afford to waste that precious inventory on a key of disappointment. What do we get? 21, 22. Don't care. What I do care about is how much order resources do I have. I've got my 79 and 18, which helps. It's the little things that help, especially getting the what's it called? Especially finishing that world quest thingamajig, the weekly. That's gonna help a lot for sure too. Revenge of the Nerds again. Watch the expansion. It has nothing to do with the South Seas. You know, I don't care about the South Seas at all. I mean, think about it. Like South Seas expansion. Okay, cool. We have boats. Cool. But then, like, what about flying? You know, like I think about the people that are fans of boats, and then I think of the people that are fans of flying, and maybe I just haven't seen it yet. But how come they haven't gotten to like a big old fist fight yet? Because there would need to be you know, again, a reason to not fly, and it would suck if once again Blizzard just doesn't say why we can't fly in the South Seas or wherever. They just say that we can't, and instead we get around on a boat. That doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, like having a full-on boat mechanic, I don't see a lot of excitement from that. You'd really have to like sell me on it to make me like feel compelled to hop on a boat, as opposed to using all the many different ways of teleporting that I have at my disposal, just as a paladin, you know, to want me to care about a boat. Because other races' main city is used, then the NPC. Now that thing, even players don't go there, only use the teleport to Overwater Storm. Yep. I just think that, you know, the main cities should have retained some sort of identity to them. I say move more blood of Gil makes Silvermoon flyable. I'd like it too, but at the same time, there wouldn't be a whole lot to gain. It's like, cool, it's cool, we can fly on Silvermoon. Now we can see above Silvermoon. What else do you get? That's it. You don't get anything else. You don't get anything else out of it. It's like I always say, narrative. If there's a reason for it to make it happen, then cool. Let's go ahead and make it happen because it seems like it would be neat. Like, if all of a sudden there was like some sort of like floating island that hovered above Silvermoon and all that stuff. Okay, cool. Let's make flying in Silvermoon so we can get there or something like that. But without a reason, there's just nothing. There's nothing there, especially because Silvermoon is like both Silvermoon and I forgot the name of that place. I'm sorry, guys. You know, Draeneyville. You know, their zones. They're like in the corners of the world. You don't fly through Silvermoon or Draeneyville. You just go there if you needed to go there. And that's not, to me, that's not enough to compel me to, you know, light the torches and be like, oh, Blizzard, you've got to do this. I just don't see a good enough reason to. Alright, so I have just enough for like one disappointing trinket, which I'll get later. Let me start doing like these things here. I agree, I love the Horde, but I love Alliance architecture. Yep, it's way nicer than what we get, apart from the Blood Elf style, of course. You know, I think the Blood Elf style right now is totally dated. I'd love to see new Blood Elf architecture, and see what comes out from that. What if they made normal NPCs to world boss NPCs? That would be interesting from a world PvP standpoint. I think Undercity is the best of all cities, Horde or Alliance. I'm fascinated by the Undercity. I love the theme of it. Because when I first went there, you think way back. Here's nostalgia coming in, guys. You think about way back in classic days. You're bumming around like that starter zone. You have no idea what's going on or where to go. And then you see like that big old castle. It's like, oh man, Lordaeron, sweet. Let's go ahead and go there. And then you like go inside. It's like, oh, there's not a lot here. Then you take that elevator down. You're like, holy snap. What have they been up to? So I think it's a really cool theme, the Undercity. Yeah, I think it's really neat. Like the gear and story seems so small, they need more love. I think the boats sound lame. I really hope that they do a couple zones like Ice Crown and Storm Peaks. Those zones were amazing because they were made for flying. See, that's something I wouldn't mind if, like I said, narrative. If they create the theme of a certain zone or area around flying, cool, that makes sense. It's why I really didn't like Cataclysm very much. I challenge you folks to go around some of those Cataclysm zones without flying, and just go places, like do things, and it's hard to appreciate now because we've already passed through the content and everything. It's all long done and over with. But just doing something like starting at Hyjal and starting at under that world tree, Nordrassil, Teldrassil, I forgot the name now. Just start there and try to go to like certain places, and then you'll end up going around like this really long winding road, which is very pretty reminiscent of the Mount Hyjal instance back in Burning Crusade. But it's just something to appreciate, and I think unfortunately Cataclysm by default became underappreciated because you could just fly over everything. Like, you didn't really look at the terrain. Or speaking for myself, you don't really look at the terrain. You just look for your objective, and everything else isn't memorable, or yeah, it just kind of sucks. It sucks. All right, waiting for this person to spawn. And then I'm gonna jack them up with my robots. The Exodar, there we go. Oh man, that sucks. I wish they would make Silvermoon actually relevant in such a beautiful Zinnian zone, but once you level past it, you have no reason to return. Yeah, they ain't. Yeah, you only go there for like little things like that. But again, I want to see like a real update to the architecture. Seeing more of the same stuff, like you see little snippets of it from the Burning Crusade, and you see a tiny little bit of it in Draenor, and a tiny bit of it throughout the Broken Isles, but it's like no more than like a tent and all that, and that kind of sucks. Yeah, I want to see some updated stuff. Like you think of, I think of how the Forsaken architecture was updated from the start, like when what was it? When Wrath of the Lich King happened, the Forsaken got like updated building structures, and then that followed through in Cataclysm, as you can see over at Terran Mill and other places. So they got some cool updates on their architecture. I think it was really neat. I'd really like to see Blood Elves get that same kind of attention when the time comes. I mean, Orcs had that too. Orcs had that too when they spiked everything up. You know, when they went all out with that, and they went metal instead of just wood and stone and stuff. Oh shit. Yeah, so I'd love to see some significant updates to it. I just feel bad for Horde as a faction themselves, that, you know, the only nations, the only factions that are really like into, well, okay, let me walk that back actually. I just think that overall Horde structures are underappreciated, because they're so heavily represented by orcs and sometimes trolls and stuff, but at the same time, you know, there's goblin architecture, you know, which is very steampunk, and then there's blood elf architecture, which is what it is, and I think it could be better, but we don't really see them, unfortunately, because those factions aren't very dominant in the grand scheme of things. I'd really love to see Gallywix become a more prominent faction leader, and just kind of spearhead stuff, so that way we can see more of a goblin presence with their architecture and their NPCs. Alright, don't worry guys, I'm going to participate. Trick out treats. Trick. I got no treats for you, man. I leveled character through Darkshore after Cataclysm just to see the new zone changes, and you did not like it. That's a bummer. It's more or less just a lot of big cracks in the ground that make it hard to get around. As someone who plays Torn mostly, I would love more Torn architecture. But then there isn't a lot of architecture, though. I mean, of what I guess overall, I'd love to see updates. We've seen some factions get love, and some races get love, and some don't. And I think that's something that ought to be addressed. All right, where am I going? Oh yeah, I gotta do invasion stuff. Yeah, I might as well take care of that. I got a greater invasion, and I got lesser, not so great invasions. But let's go here first. Because Torn architecture is like mostly tents and hollowed out giant totems. That's you know, that's what most of that is, which is cool. But I just want to see new stuff, something new and shiny and all that. I mean, for all we know, we may in fact get a new race, like ethereals. Like what kind of actual structures do they have? It gives Blizzard a chance to just kind of go all out and invent something like brand spanking new, and that's neat too. I'm pretty much with most of you folks that want to see like the older races get more love too. That's true, huh? most of Ogremar's repairs and all that, and their revamps. That's mostly a result of the Goblin influence, which automatically means that it was Galiox who was behind it. I'm slow. No, I can't. Dang it! I popped my cooldown and everything. There we go. Let me at least get in on this. Act like I'm participating, okay? Don't move so much. It's not like we get hurt. Sheesh. The Tortolan. Turtles everywhere. There's that one. What's next? Excuse me. Alright, what's next? I don't think there's anything else here that I marked. Yeah, the stuff is in the other zones, so no need to be here no more. Let's move on. Alright. Oh, thing is right there. Sure. Macri. Macklemore. We're telling right in a turtle what humiliation is over. No, they're like evolved. They're evolved turtle people. I mean, the you know, I'm still a big believer that that we're gonna get a new Well of Eternity. And with that in mind, who knows? Like anyone that's exposed to the wells, to the waters of this new well, you know, they're gonna be ascended. Oh wow, those are a bunch of corpses. I feel bad for this rare. Sorry, Soul Slythen? Yeah. Have I tried Guild Wars 2? Not enough. I only tried it out for a few minutes, and or I watched the Buddy Mine tech play for a few minutes, and I was like, oh okay, cool, this is kind of boring, and I stopped. I didn't give it a chance at all. I only looked at it for like a minute or two. But correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe like their big thing is that the world is constantly useful, it is constantly scaled, and that, you know, quest and story approaches, they can happen like pretty much, you know, all over the place. You know, there isn't like zone specific stuff at all. You just happen to go there and then everything's scaled to your level. Was that about right? But well, at any rate, a paradigm like that is something that I wouldn't mind. Something that I wouldn't mind very much. Why would I want to increase my fishing by 6? 6? That's it? That's weak, man. That ain't shit. Anyway, let's go find this portal, and hopefully not like fall off the planet. I wonder how many people have fallen through there by accident. I mean, it's just a hole. You know, that's it. It's just a hole. Boom, it's over. You know, if you screw up. I don't know about not again, because we never really experienced like the Well of Eternity. I'm talking about the real one. I'm talking about the one, you know, the one from the instance in Cataclysm, because we haven't really like experienced it or seen it, or we haven't seen the impact of it. So that, yeah, that's why personally I buy into it. I think it could happen. They introduce a new map every 2 months. Everything scaled to your level, and it's more about the exploration of those maps and the continent. Guild Wars 2 is downscaled to your level to max level current zone. Gear and stats get downgraded to that. That I don't mind so much. I mean, I understand like some of the player concerns with not, you know, with feeling less powerful. I think if it's just managed better, that it's fine, and then from there it's just preference of what you like more, as opposed to, yeah, is it broken or not. Yeah. Who's his warrior? Sheesh. Show off. Just because you're using skills and talents that make you hit harder than me. Boo-hoo. But yeah, I mean, without taking into context like anything about the game itself, like it's hard for me to. It makes me curious, but I'd have to find out for myself, you know, before I can really form a cool opinion on it. It's funny, like the differences between players. Like some folks are like, "Hey, I'm fine with the jumping puzzles and things like that," and then there's such a wide spectrum of that preference. It's like, no, I want to be able to like fly everywhere that I want to, or I want to have like instant teleports with flight points and things like that, because I don't have that. I don't have that kind of time. I just want to do what I want to do is, you know, I just want to jump into the action as quickly as possible. And that's an airplane. Sorry. But I don't know. Everyone's got their preference, and yeah, I just try to soak it in as it goes. I might do content creation and stuff, but I try not to be too analytical about stuff. At least not when I'm trying to enjoy things for myself. I don't mind the exploration feel at all. You know, and I don't think it was just Argus. I think a lot of it was with a lot of it happened with the Broken Isles as a whole. Because you know, before Legion, there wasn't a whole lot to exploring and stuff. With Legion, the way that they built the world. I'm very, very impressed with how they built the world. I know some people have gripes about, like, you know, big mountains and things like that, but I haven't seen their world building look so natural. I think it had a very natural feel to it, and I think that's something to really appreciate, because he had all these sorts of nooks and crannies that they couldn't cram, and they did cram all sorts of things in with their, you know, with having little treasures here and there, with the locations of rares and things like that. They used the whole damn world, and that really helped, especially because they were pushing this whole thing with world scaling. So people are going to be going around the world and checking things out. So they really needed, you know, they really did need to deliver on that. Ooh, I don't have any of these. Ooh, come on, transmog, baby. Nope. Oh, bummer. Big freaking bummer. I really should just come back here and just keep using all my extra roll tokens on these, because there's nothing else for me to use roll tokens on. Duh. Still, bummer. Did that crit? Nope, didn't crit. 1.4 billion ain't nothing to snooze at. And I'm getting pretty close to 72, which will get me that next trait thingamajig. So I think so far I'm on schedule to hit 75 right when Antorus comes out in the next couple weeks or so. Sweet. So I will effectively be on the average. Haha. I mean, not that I have like I don't exactly expect my my guild mates to be at rank 75 by the time Antorus comes out, because I don't think that's as big of a deal. Not nearly as big of a deal as it is to hit. Is it 69? 69? No, 66. 66 is what gets you all those level 2 traits. I think that gets you the much bigger power gain than getting all those like level 3 things unlocked. All right, everybody, let's go. Oh. 1,000 people, 1,000 opinions. I agree, man. I agree, because there's such a wide degree among this player base, and it's Blizzard's fault because they wanted to create a game that caters to like this kind of audience, this huge audience, and it's still huge. I mean, WoW is still comically large in terms of its scale. You can say people can talk all they want about like, oh my god, according to the WoW census things, it's like this and this, or according to the latest trend, it's like this and this. But you only have to look as far as like things like the add-ons. Hell, just looking at add-ons and like the new ones that prop up all the time. There is a comically large industry of WoW that exists. WoW created its own industry of of everything. Yeah, when it comes to like website, site design, and like the whole thing with database structures like Wowhead, that kind of stuff didn't exactly exist at the time. It didn't exactly exist until now. And not to say that WoW caused this, but it's definitely one of the primary vehicles for it. Let's see, how should I get there? I'll take the teleport thing and then go east. Oh, that's alright. Well, happy Hollow's End, you all people. Alright, so I'm going here to the Conservatoire. Out of the Arcany. Wait, wrong way. I'm going this way. Yeah, I'm not fond of Trellian's voice. Too valiant. Give them a mess to clean up. I'm just not sold on it. Too hokey. How many expansions do I think are left? With the amount of people still playing, we may have another 7 or so years. If World of Warcraft went down to like 200,000 subscribers, they would still make expansions. They might not be very big, but I think they're still gonna make them. I remember, it's just, when are they gonna run out of money? That's really all it is at this point. So it's not even something that can be measured as to like how many expansions can they make. They can make expansions as long as there's a story to write and an audience that will want to experience it. I think that's I really think that's it. There are still new people that jump into the game, and I think that there is a bottom level to reach. There's a floor, before you get down to like the most hardcore World of Warcraft fans that are like, I'm gonna play this motherfucker till I die. Those people exist, and maybe I don't know if I should admit it, but maybe I'm one of them. So I don't know, like, yeah, I can't give a number because it could be as many as Blizzard wants to. Even if it did start losing money, like they would just change the paradigm around. They would create, they would do something drastic to get subscribers in, or turn it free to play or something like that, and that would be it. So it's really hard to say. There are so many tools that Blizzard has at their disposal that haven't been used yet. I have little doubt that when the time comes, Blizzard will be like, let's go ahead and do Legacy Realms. Maybe people will like it, and then that's going to get a nice little bump. And then from that, they just kind of play by ear. How long is this going to last? What can we project? Or from this, how can we, what more can we do to help keep the World of Warcraft alive? Because yeah, it's simple accounting. As long as it keeps making money, they're going to keep making expansions. I don't imagine the World of Warcraft just stopping. Hey, you know, it's not. It doesn't look like this is good. This is going so good, so we're just gonna stop. This is the last expansion. Blah blah blah. I don't think they're ever going. You know, I don't think they'll ever announce a last expansion per se. I mean, this is something that I've meant to make a video about. What if WoW made a last expansion? What would it be like? Well, stay tuned for that one. But I think, to be honest, I think that what'll happen is that at the end of the World of Warcraft, they just kind of open the game up. They make it. They introduce like some sort of sandbox like material, leave the story open ended, and just let the game sit in that state where users can create their own. That they can kind of create their own content and that would be it. People can continue the World of Warcraft story on their own. And then from there, they'll let the franchise, they'll kind of go with what they can go with the rest of the franchise. Stormy, what's up? Look how like this word Diablo. Those games aren't making the money. I mean, probably not. Game on, probably not. Let's see. What time tonight? It's 6 p.m. over there in Austria. Enjoy the treats. All right. Last expansion. Blow Azeroth up. Azeroth wakes up, kills everyone, and then she goes off on her own adventures, and like that's it. Or maybe a WoW 2 could happen when they have a better engine. They may be wishful thinking. Either way, WoW is still fun as hell, as every new expansion gets me hyped beyond belief. But Game On End says that I don't think WoW 2 could ever happen. They would just cannibalize the game. It would only work if they basically improved the character count from WoW into a starting point and then continued from there. League of Cancers. If they did do a WoW 2, I think it would just... I don't think it would necessarily be, hey, here's the new World of Warcraft game. I think it would just be like the same thing. Like, so here's me pulling it out of my ass, okay? I have no idea what I'm really talking about here, but let's pretend I'm probably safe here. Let's pretend that that they're gonna announce a WoW 2 at this BlizzCon, and I think the way that it could be framed is that the subscription would be the same. You wouldn't be you wouldn't be paying like a separate subscription or anything. One subscription can get you both games, and basically they're going to lock this version of WoW into what they're going to lock this version of WoW into what it is. You're not going to progress any further than that. And then from there, the World of Warcraft 2, all it really is probably is just a new, it's a new engine and everything, but otherwise everything's the same. Nothing is different. Where your character just pops in, can seamlessly go right into this new thing, and like that's it. Hell, maybe they'll even like remake like the old world and they'll update everything. I don't know, but I don't know. It seems like if they did want to do a WoW 2, it would come in the form of an expansion, not exactly like a brand new box, because they don't need a brand new box. They just they don't need an entirely new like they don't need to sell it like it's a full-on game, or maybe they can. I don't know. I'm obviously just making this up as I go, so maybe I'm not quite getting the thoughts through. But I think I'm trying to say that if there is a WoW 2, it's going to come in the form of an expansion that has a huge game update, and that's it. Ta-da! There's me trying to talk. Actually, give me one moment. I gotta step away for a bit. bring you coffee. I'm bringing you Jack, man. See, it's funny. Right? Well, like I talk, and that's when Toffee is definitely asleep. But then if I like glance over, you know, when it's quiet and I glance over, like I look over, his eyes are like wide open. He's like, "What you doing? What you doing, boss?" Anyway, back to adventure. Let's wipe some of these guys out and get some more of this precious artifact power, or not artifact power, precious order resources. Be realistic. After they remade the talent trees, the game felt different. After the whole resource management update, it felt different. How we were already in WoW 4.0. I mean, yeah, but you know, putting those kinds of like semantics aside, I think the point that they're trying to make is that they're talking about like a full engine update, like rebuild it from scratch kind of thing. So that way, you know, it's not kind of the programming hodgepodge that it is right now. And I don't know, and I don't know enough about programming to really form an opinion, to form a great opinion. But I imagine that there is an upper limit to what the World of Warcraft is capable of. And thankfully, Blizzard has been pushing the envelope so much that, you know, the WoW that we experience now is nothing like what it was before. That said, though, you know, they are still working with certain kinds of programming paradigms that, you know, maybe are outdated and could use some touching up. It wouldn't surprise me if they did want to like create a brand new kind of engine for WoW, but essentially it looks the same. You know, it just looks the same. Nothing looks different. Everything, you know, all the changes are just under the hood. And otherwise, you know, performance wise, that maybe things look a little bit different, but fundamentally, like, you know, a lot of what we experience now is still here. Because to be honest, I'm not a big fan of like super photorealistic looking characters. I'm fine with the slightly cartoony sort of look to it, and I really like the level of detail that we have on it now. That's tagged. Boo. Let's see. Oh, thanks for following, Sneaky. I appreciate that. To me, they need to drop in power level to where we're seeing numbers back in Classic, maybe Burning Crusade, and so on. Blizzard said that they don't care about big numbers as long as they can put like an M or a B or a T, and the number don't matter. Repairing spaghetti code, performance is amazing for already. Welcome to Wildstar. With regards to like things like an item, like a stat squish, that it's not something. It's something that they you know can do, but should they do it? I don't think it's a matter of should they do it, because if they should do it, then they should always do it, and that's and that feels kind of weird from a perspective standpoint, for you know, for just from looking at like just how it looks and feels. It would seem weird to me if they kept doing stat squishes, because they are just numbers. That's all they are in the end. It's just a matter of like, should they just round up or down and all around and that sort of thing. Because the problem with trying to do a stat squish is that you're kind of squishing, but you're kind of not. You're actually stretching out these you're stretching out these numbers as well. So it's like if you play if you go back and make a new character, and you look at the level difference between like level 1 gear and level 60 gear, it's very small. It's a very small stat change that we're seeing right now, and maybe that is already Blizzard's fault with the way that they decided to go about this first stat squish. But it's just very difficult to take a system where you have progressive content throughout the expansion, you know, as in like raids and things like that, and continually add to that. I think the better solution in the end would be to just kind of leave it alone. Just let the numbers fly and get nuts, and just add a energy to them, or add like an M or a B or whatever to them, because in my opinion it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You know, even with things like artifact power, with the super inflated numbers, it's to me what matters more is how long does it take me to kill. No, I'm not going to do any today, Ken. To me what matters is how long does it take me to kill a mob. How long does it take me to, you know, how long is a boss encounter. Those are the things that I'm going to pay attention more to. Not so much like, oh god, am I doing billions or millions or what? Because that has nothing, you know, that has very little to do with how long it takes me to actually just kill stuff or heal stuff. Alright. Varga. I hate fighting Varga. Screw Varga. I'm not gonna fight him. Because I always have like I always like screw up, and I have like the hardest time like finding that motherfucker. I'll fight the Inquisitor instead. If I can reach him. I don't think I can reach him from here, can I? And he's dead anyway. Son of a butt. This works, I guess. And hi. What's up, Sneaky? 25-minute boss encounters. Oh, man. What was a really long boss encounter that we've had kind of recently? I mean, we have a number of these. Like super long ass multi-phase fights. Those always drive me nuts. Come on, Vel something. I got stuff to do. And I still have one more invasion to do. Come on. Kael'thas was long. And I didn't even really do it. I would just hear about it. And even like just doing the even just doing the encounter like at max level, I'm like, damn, dude, like just waiting for all this stuff is like taking for. It was like the RP stuff that was like taking forever. I'm like, oh my god, dude, how do you people live? This is agony. All right, where's that portal? There's the portal. Let me in. Encounter should be 10 minutes max, if you ask me. You know, I can get behind that. I mean, that sounds like that has a nice, good feel to it. 10 minutes. 10 minutes, because you know that gives you a certain number of cooldown uses. Because I think being able to use like at least, you know, a major cooldown twice in a fight, to me that has some you know, to me that feels good. I'm no encounter designer, so I'm not sure like, you know, what kind of responses I would get from that, but I think that'd be cool. Ugh. Four Horsemen, next 40 took 20 minutes. Damn. Yeah, it didn't take nearly that long in the Wrath of the Lich King version. Yeah, those sound like pain in the asses. Don't like how only one of these things comes out at a time. That's right, like Gul'dan took a while. Just because I remember being able to bloodlust twice for that fight, and Yeah, being able to bloodlust twice makes me kind of, I don't know. Now using a 5-minute cooldown twice, okay, yeah, I can deal with that. I don't know, like, let's see, how close now? I don't think we were closer in the rage timer, because most of those, well, most of the time these days, those enraged timers, they're like soft, right? It's more like a soft enrage, like Avatar. You run out of floor space eventually, so no need for like a straight up enraged timer. You know, there are different ways to go about that these days. Enraged timers themselves are just kind of a dated mechanic. You know, they're not really like needed anymore, because there are more clever ways to go about it. You know, there are smarter ways to indicate to players, yes, you are not doing enough DPS. You must have more DPS, otherwise you will run out of time and like you're screwed. You know, actually, I remember I think Ellison, my team hit in a rage timer with that, because mostly because like we had dead people and we just kept going. We had dead people early in the fight. We decided to keep pushing. We eventually hit the enraged timer. Like, oh, well, now we know the enraged timer, guys. Ah, you're one of the types that misses PvP gear. I mean, I miss having more consistent PvP rewards, but I don't miss the gear. I don't miss the entry level, or I don't miss that barrier to just start PvPing. Because, you know, back in Warlords, I could start PvPing whenever I wanted to. I would just get stomped to the ground. And that process of getting stomped to the ground before becoming just relevant enough to PvP, I think that was a bit too punishing. I don't mind there being kind of like I don't mind there being a starting point where you suck. But with Warlords and with most of the previous expansions, it was too much. I think it took it. I think it just took it too far. Ever-burning Doombringer. I think that is the last one. And then there's Varga, who I'm going to skip because Varga sucks. I guess I'll kill the Watcher too, since that's a billion. Okay, it just says 1 on screen. I get 1 artifact power. Yay! But I'll take that. I'll do a 1. Was it Watcher? Oh wait, Watcher. Watcher is up here. I remember. Old Alterac Valley boss took a weekend kill. You know, I didn't find Alterac Valley fun. Because I was Horde. And as Horde, you just play on the bridge. You just play on the bridge, you AoE stuff, and you hope for the best. I mean, that's what it really was in the end. Fighting to get across that bridge, you know, trying to push through, get to that one flag, so that way the spawn, will like screw the alliance over, and that was it. Like, to miss it, to say most accurately how I miss it, I would miss it until I do it the first time again, and then I'll remind myself why it drove me insane. And then I won't care to do it anymore. Any Destiny 2 streams anytime soon? I could, but you know, I would really humiliate myself on Destiny 2 because I suck at the game. I finished the campaign. I'm sitting on the tower, and I haven't really done much since. And it's mostly, and a big part of it is because on Destiny 2, or at least on any game that's not WoW, I have to really focus on the game, otherwise I die or something like that. Just maybe because I'm just not as good of a player or whatever, but I can't engage with you guys nearly as much, and that's the main point of the morning show. It's not exactly playing a game for you folks. It's more like talking with you all and hanging out and, you know, trying to have a good time and all that. Shout me out, Dad. I don't know you. Anyway. Let's see. Avatar's Enrage is a cool concept, but it swings while on the floor, starts one-shotting people. That's also if you can manage the flow. Okay. I didn't know that there was like an additional thing, you know, when all the platformers disappear, he just like gets all locked up. But I do like some of the protections that Avatar does have. Like if you kill the maiden, he get, you know, or if he gets to max energy too quick, he gets all his life back. Which would be kind of interesting from a soloing standpoint, you know, because then you're gonna have to deal with that. You know, you're gonna have to deal with starting phase 2 with having the boss pretty much at full life, and you're gonna have to pretty much sit in that lava stuff for, you know, for that fight. So I do think it's cool that you can't just like cheese the heck out of it. That's something that I can appreciate. Alright. That's true, but not having nothing to work towards also kind of sucks. I mean, it's more of a matter of finding an appropriate reward for players of PvP. I mean, there are things that folks are working for. They're working on, you know, they're working on upping their honor and getting prestige and things like that. The whole thing with gear, with random gear, that's no longer an issue. In my opinion, it's no longer an issue because of the echoes of war sort of thing, which is pretty much, you know, honor points or whatever. So I don't think that's a big deal anymore. So I'm not quite sure what it is that you're having trouble working towards, except for being able to feel overpowered in the outdoor world, which is a thing, you know, that's significant too. But I don't know, like I think that's something that Blizzard just hasn't really designed for yet. Alright, I still need to kill that ever something Doombringer guy. And my robot's available, so I'll definitely jack him up. Okie dokie. Whee! Burn, baby, burn. These mecha remind me of what's it called? Mega Man X, when you hop into like those mecha things and they just like truck stuff. Oh, those things felt good. reminds me of exactly that, except that these things can like fly freely. Jealous. All right, so let's go back to the ship. Harold, what's up, man? You're joining me kind of late today, but it's all good. How's your day been? The gradual increase in power that you felt just isn't there anymore. I mean, it's really a difference of paradigm there. It's like, do you really want to feel that much more powerful than you know? Do you really want that situation where you're just stomping people in battlegrounds? Because it might make you feel good knowing that you're possibly like two-shotting other players, but how do they feel? How do those other players feel? You know, they might not be very happy. They might not be very happy with that. I guess the one critique that I have would be when it comes to rated battlegrounds, I think those stat templates are extremely important. But outside of that, I would suggest that in non-rated battlegrounds, screw it. No templates, no nothing. Just go in, just go in and have at it. I mean, yeah, that would be like a playground for people with high item levels and stuff, but I think that would be the compromise, because I do think that it's important to have that competitive side to PvP, especially with regards to like rated stuff. The more rewarding, presumably the more rewarding contents that'll get you, like, the rated stuff and those kinds of rewards. But sometimes people just want to feel good stomping fools too. So that's why I would say, like, when it comes to skirmishes or non-rated battlegrounds, don't apply the stat templates. I mean, what would you think of, like, how would you feel about that sort of compromise? Good enough, not good enough? Because again, I feel strongly that there should be like some sort of some form of competition. What's up, Michael? There should be some sort of competition between players, and to get that, you gotta have a relatively even field. Otherwise, then you get into like those weird spots where people have a high rating and they happen to and they just kind of keep everyone down, and that didn't feel good. That's something that Blizzard has been trying to address, and this is what we've got because of it. Of course, with Brian Halinka gone, it's hard to say, like, it's hard to say exactly just how much influence Brian Halinka had on the PvP team. I mean, you call him the senior PvP designer, but he wasn't exactly like the czar. He's not the one that thinks of everything. He just signs off on it. So it'll be curious to see, like, in the future, like, what kinds of PvP things might be going on. There might be something new. They might be the same damn thing, which to be honest, I wouldn't be very happy with, because I think the prestige system is pretty broken. I mean, hell, prestige system was pretty broken within the month of Legion, because they removed the whole prestige system, kind of. So I'm curious to see what happens next. Yeah, sold stuff. Okay, so how much Argonaut do I got? I've got 1,000. All right. So I can get one thing of disappointment. What shall I get? I think I'll get a trinket. What makes me more sad than getting a shitty trinket? Oh, I got an egg. I didn't realize that. Cool. A mount. Do I have any other eggs? No other eggs. Alright, so let's see what I get. 9, 10. Pfft, weak. I don't want this weak shit. Lame. Anyway. Because I work Wednesday through Sunday, today is my last day of the weekend, so it's kind of my Sunday evening. Oh, right on, dude. I'm actually not late. You're late to me, so whatever. I don't play a ton of HOTS, but that's what I like about it over PvP. Wow, now that every artist is the same, and I'm going against some guy that plays more than me, so he is stronger than me. I mean, there was such a big push between between critics of the PvP system before now, is that people want to be at a similar playing field. That was a big push, and yeah, you get some small percentage increases based on your item level, but largely, yeah, you're about the same. It's not that big of a thing, and that's something that I can get behind. I guess to address that, let's see, what did he say exactly? Sneaky said, seeing your stats go up is like the core fun of RPGs, in my opinion, and I agree with that. But when it comes to PvP, it's a different beast altogether. It's not just a role-playing game; it's a competitive game, and in a competitive game, you gotta have, those kinds of, you gotta have a limited form of these kinds of regulations in order to keep the field clean and clear. Otherwise, we're gonna have what we had before, where you had rated battlegrounds and arenas and whatnot. Just, this is the playground of the strong, and everyone else is just like the people that are like, everyone else is just the bootlicker that fed into that fed into like these people's egos. That didn't feel good. I don't think it felt very good. Oh shoot, I can buy another thing. Ah, another trinket. All right, let's see if I can get anything else good. Come on. I've been getting a pretty crappy string of trinkets lately. Let's see if I can get something better. All right. Let's mentally prepare myself for this one. This might suck. A lot. I prefer the current scale PvP system. In the past expansion, every time I tried to get in PvP, I just got absolutely destroyed because I only had PvE gear. So after a couple of battlegrounds, I just gave up. I mean, I didn't like it either when it came to like when I'm just trying to do dailies. I'm just trying to get my own thing done really quick, and then someone would show up, and that someone would be like so geared, and they would like just wreck like 5 people that are just trying to quest, and that was to me. And I had a problem with that. Like that didn't feel fun. Sure, it was fun for the other. It was fun for the other person, but there's literally nothing that I could do about it. There was no agency of effort that I could put in order to match that, because they had all the PvP gear and all the enhancements and the reduced damage taken and the increased damage done to players and stuff like that. And what did I have? I didn't have jack shit. I just happened to be in the wrong place. I just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I got my ass beat. And that sucks. These days it's different. There are different sets of problems that we have, but at least that problem is not there anymore, because I found that to be pretty disruptive. Oh yeah, that's right. I already bought it. All right, let's see what I get. 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 I don't know how I feel about that. I'll hold on to it. I'll hold on to it. You're right, Hassorbs. That is what you choose when you're on a PvP realm, but you choose that sort of, I chose that at a certain time in the game, like the beginning. You choose that at a certain time, and then from how the PvP system has evolved over time, the whole idea of PvP gear, making yourself stronger versus other players, and knowing that you can use those out in the world, that made it really disruptive, and that's something that just kind of happened before you chose what kind of realm you wanted to be on. So again, I'll reiterate, there wasn't a whole lot that players could do if a high level PvP player just felt like victimizing others. Now that's only changed. That's only changed slightly now. If someone motivated wants to come out and kill you, at the very least with their PvP gear, assuming that it's like all super like elite status gear, it has very high versatility and all that, which is going to be very important for PvP, and that's about it. But they're still going to be massively effective out in the world. I mean, it's really just about being that motivated. And then your victims, maybe they are not as motivated to like defend themselves, but then they're in a better spot than they were in the past. Before, it was like you were two-shotting them. That sucked. These days, not so much, unless they're like ridiculously undergeared. And then from there, when you go into rated battlegrounds, then cool, it's a more even level playing field. So again, just to reiterate, that's what I would be pushing for. I would say like unrated stuff, unrated battlegrounds and skirmishes, screw it, just take out the templates. I think the templates don't need to have their place there. Just let things go nuts. When it comes to rated stuff though, I think the templates there are important to have in there, because I think the concern about having an even playing field is more at that level than it is for world PvP or for like unrated stuff. So I don't think there even is a PvP lead designer. If there is, we don't know it. I mean, to be honest, I think that was, to me, my opinion. All right, I think that was a self-styled title. I think in the end, that title, it's it's more like a self-styled thing. Lead encounter designer, self-styled. Um, Lead PvP designer, self-styled, because ultimately, as a designer, you're more than likely working on multiple things at once. It's more like, okay, this is my department, I guess. I guess that would be kind of the designation. So I don't think it's a big deal that there's no official PvP, senior PvP designer, because someone's working on it. I hope someone's working on it. Or play an assassination role with a legendary cloak and one shots everything. What do I think about solo #solo queue? Tell me what that is again, Kayla, because I might not be on top of that. I think that wasn't that like just like a solo duel or something like that? Help me out there. The unrated battlegrounds are where the players that don't get like getting stomped exist. I think if you got it backwards, the competitive players should have no templates. I don't know. Well, that's my perspective on it. Yeah, that's just my perspective on it, and I admit that it's limited. My PvP experience in WoW is pretty limited. So I think you might be right. Because that would make it would make sense, because at that level, when you do get into like the rated stuff and all that, you have curated teams, you're trying a lot harder, you're at a level where the differences in gear should be minimal, right? They should be minimal. But yeah, and I think of the past when there were like weird things that arena teams did back when there were like arena teams, where they would like downrank themselves or something like that, so they can like stomp fools. They can stomp fools early on, and that sort of thing. So I don't know. I'm just gonna write this off as complicated because I don't understand all of it. So. Solo queue ranked arena, i.e. you do not need to find a partner. As in, okay, solo ranked arena, don't need to. So like, it's not like a 1 versus 1 thing, right? You just queue up and then you end up with random people. That sounds absolutely chaotic. I mean, I don't see a huge. Remember, like I've been saying this whole time, not a great perspective. I don't see why not. I don't see there being enough drawbacks to it, aside from solo queue would need to be would need to be like its own bracket. It would need to be its own it would need to be its own system, which would affect queue times if queue times matter to people. So that would be the small concern that I would have, that you would be splitting the queued PvP community into that sort of half. Yeah. I can kind of see that, but well, the one concern I had is that you're splitting one is that you're splitting the queue up into not into equal halves, right? It's not like, oh, solo queue happens and everyone does solo queue, and then the curated teams, they don't, they're like screwed because everyone's doing solo queue. So I don't know how the split would be, but that would be a concern. Um, the concern is that one that there would be a split. Two would be the randomness. It's like you never know who you're gonna roll with. I mean, there are certain things that I would hope would factor in. Like I would hope that a tank will never, a tank and a healer will never queue up together, or two tanks or two healers would never queue up together, or something like that. How else would it go, folks? So you to enlighten me on this idea that this other YouTuber had. Like, is it 2v2, 3v3? Is it like all the brackets, just one? Like, how would that work? Because the concern there again is that you're splitting. You know, you're splitting the PvP community up, and if Blizzard is resisting doing something like this, I think that's the primary reason why. That it would cause queue times to be too unpredictable, too hard and too hard to manage. That's kind of specifically the way to. I mean, that's the meta though. You know, that's PvP. You know, you are going to have a comp. You are going to have a very specific. You're going to have a very specific way to play. So that's a given. But that would be a reason to, as you guys are saying, to have a solo queue sort of thing. So I can get on board with that. I stated my concerns, but otherwise, if those concerns can be overcome, then I think it would be good for the community. Cool. And with that, I am at 2 hours and 6 minutes on the morning show. And I'm gonna have to get back to work. So this is gonna be it for me for today. I still expect to do a stream tomorrow. I'm not sure what I mean, maybe I'll do old content, maybe I'll do Destiny 2, I don't know. We'll see about that, but I do plan on putting out one video today, and that's probably it for the week before BlizzCon. Anything else that I produce is gonna be from the site, or just me doing random stuff here and there with me like testing out equipment or whatever. So don't feel too bad if you see a bunch of random notifications that don't mean anything. I will definitely give Toffee pets. Thanks everyone for coming and being part of today's conversations. My throat is pretty tired and worn out. Bad prep. I'm gonna need to pick up that honey. That's what I need to pick up. Honey. Anyway, you all have a good one. I'll see you in the next video or the stream. Stay safe, stay happy, and as always, everybody, stay breezy.